All right. What's up, everybody? We're back. It's episode 7 of Celebrating Others. And yes, I have fresh coffee today. It is a lovely day, and it is a lovely day to celebrate someone else in your life. Don't forget to do it today. Make it a habit. That's why we're doing this, is celebrating others. So today is a little bit of a reminiscing day for me. I'm going to try to keep this video short because it could turn into a very long ramble on my part. But I want to celebrate two incredibly important people in my life, especially from the side of music. Many of you probably do know, but some of you may not, that I started studying violin at the age of 3. My mom and dad, very early in my life, got me involved in music, and not just taking lessons, but music education and really learning and understanding music from theory sides and things like that. And so I started studying the violin at the age of 3, and that was something that carried me all the way through my teenage years and into college and so on and so forth. And not that that is the most important part of this video. I don't mean to talk about all that, but there were two teachers in my life who were incredibly important and valuable to me, not just from a music standpoint, but really from a life standpoint. And so I want to celebrate my two favorite music teachers today, and those are Mr. Tom Johnson and Mrs. Joni Roos. Now, as quickly as I can, I'm going to tell you about these individuals because, again, this could take me a long time. But Mr. Tom Johnson was my violin teacher from the age of 9 through the age of 11. I was only with him for 2 years in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Beautiful area. Mr. Tom Johnson was a member of the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra and became my teacher. I was incredibly lucky to even get in to be one of his students. And Mr. Tom Johnson was the kind of teacher that hurt my feelings every time I would go for a lesson because I would feel as though I was failing all the time. Yet, Mr. Tom Johnson taught me one of the most important lessons in my life. Again, not just from a music standpoint, but from a life standpoint. And he was the one that really helped me to understand that if I wanted to be good at something, I had to be willing to give it everything. I remember Mr. Tom Johnson specifically in one of my lessons at the age of 9 telling me, Brian, you're okay at this thing, but if you want to be good, you've got to be willing to eat, sleep, and drink music. And at the age of 9, that was incredibly instrumental to me and formative in my understanding of I wasn't just going to be able to get by on just taking some lessons. But if this wanted to be something that was important to me, I had to be willing to give it everything. You know, from a biblical viewpoint, you could pull out of the book of Colossians where Paul is writing to the church and he says, whatever you do, right, do it with all of your might. Give everything that you do as unto the Lord. And so again, it was formative to me, not just from a music viewpoint, but from a life standpoint, even at the age of 9. And then, of course, Mrs. Joni Roos. She was my violin teacher during my teenage years when I lived in Orlando, Florida. And Mrs. Joni Roos was also an incredible violinist, but she had a little bit of a different angle, again, that helped me to understand that if you love something and you really want to give it everything, then you should be able to enjoy it and have fun with it. And again, when it came to what I was doing with violin and really applying into my life as a teenager and as I was learning and growing and just becoming a young man, it helped me to understand that, yes, I needed to be willing to give everything to something to be good at it, but it could also mean that I could love and enjoy what I was doing at the same time and have fun doing it. And so I just wanted to celebrate Mr. Tom Johnson, Mrs. Joni Roos. I don't know that they'll ever see this video at all, and that's not really what's important, but I'm celebrating them today because of the ways that they taught me music, which translated into things that I applied to my life. And so there we go, episode 7, celebrating others. I know I said it at the beginning, but do it. Find somebody today. Think of somebody and find them. Call them, text them, email them, whatever you need to do. And maybe there's somebody in your life that you can think of that was incredibly important in the way in which you were growing and learning, especially when you were in your younger years. Let them know how thankful you are for the way that they spoke into your life. And I know that it'll mean a lot to them. So episode 7, celebrating others. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Peace.